What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown, the Wade Report, and nextgenheights.com. And it is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, 7 a.m. Central, guys. And we are live on the Daily Climb. Yesterday, a plant manager in Germany stood in front of his workers and said this in quotes, guys: "No plans for staff reductions." Last night, a German newspaper got documents from inside the factory, workers' council data. The real numbers: 1,700 workers gone. 14% of the entire factory, while the plant manager was saying no layoffs. I want you guys to type lie if you've heard something like this at your job before. Type lie. Type it in the chat, okay? I see you guys in the house. The Life I Can, Big Suggs, Topaz. Good to see you guys. That's what happened at Tesla, the Giga Berlin factory. The plant manager denied it, while 14% of his workers disappeared. And that's not the only story. Meta, they cut 1,500 workers. January the 12th, closed 4 game studios that made Resident Evil VR, Deadpool VR, some of the best games on the platform, gone. Also, Ericsson in Sweden, 1,600 jobs, 12% of their entire country's workforce, gone. 4,800 jobs, 3 companies, 1 week, and one of those companies denied it was happening. This isn't a recession. This is something different. This is the silent purge. Companies are not announcing mass layoffs anymore. They're letting people go quietly, denying that it's even happening, and hoping you don't even notice. Today, I'm going to show you the data: who's getting cut, how they're hiding it, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. Here's the thing, guys. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do this every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central. Business news translated into career strategy. This is the Daily Climb. Let's get to work. Silent purge, guys. That's what this one's going to be about. I got some new data for you. Okay? All right, ladder climbers, let's start with the numbers, because this is where the companies, and this is what the companies don't want you to see. Let me break down the Tesla story first, because this one is pretty darn wild. Tesla's factory in Germany, they call it the Giga Berlin. Massive factory. Lots of people work there. I got a video of it. Let me give you guys a little video of what it looks like. It's massive. A massive factory in Germany. Let me get up here on the screen real quick. You guys are going to like this. It's something pretty special. You're talking about if you guys ever been to Austin, Austin has a massive factory as well too, but Germany is even bigger. Quite large. I mean, like when you drive past the one in Austin, it seems like that thing goes on for days. But check it out. Check this out right here. This is the Giga factory in Berlin. Absolutely massive. In 2024, early 2024, they had 12,415 employees. Today, according to the Works Council documents, they have 10,703 employees. Okay? That's 1,712 people gone in about a year. Now, here's the thing. If you are American, you might not know how this works in Germany. In Germany, there's something called a Works Council. It's like a union, but with way more power. They keep track of just about everything. So when the Works Council releases election data, that is not a rumor. That is not speculation. That is official documentation. And the documentation says that 14% of this factory is gone. But here's what makes this story different. The plant manager denied it multiple times. Throughout 2025, December 2025, they said, and he said, no plans for staff reductions. The man said no layoffs while 1,700 people disappeared. I want you guys to type Tesla in the chat if that surprises you. Type it in the chat. Okay. Now, how did they do it without announcing layoffs? Okay. How did they do it? 3 ways. Number 1, temporary contracts. Workers on short-term contracts, they just didn't renew them. No announcement needed. Okay. Number 2, voluntary buyouts. They offered money to people who would quit. And if you quit, they don't have to call it a layoff. Number 3, attrition. Someone leaves, they just don't replace them. No announcement, no press release. The headcount just shrinks. This is the playbook. This is how companies eliminate thousands of jobs without ever saying the word layoff. That's how they do it. And if the plant manager didn't tell the truth, what do you think your manager is telling you? What do you think your manager is telling you? Okay? That's the factory. Here's the denials. This broke out today. This story came out today. Tesla denies report of job cuts at Giga Berlin. 21 hours ago. Okay? This is what's happening. Now let's talk about Meta. We talked about Meta before. We talked about this specific one as well too. Okay? Let's talk about them now. Because this one is bigger than it looks. And this is bigger than I actually talked about when I spoke about this last week. On January 12th, okay? On January 12th, Meta announced that they are cutting 1,500 workers. That's 10% of their Reality Labs division. Reality Labs, that is the metaverse. A couple years ago, everybody was betting on the metaverse. This is when COVID was going on. Everybody was talking about how the metaverse is going to be the place where you go and hang out. Going to be the place where you meet your girlfriend. Going to be a place where you transact. Going to be a place where you just have community. Everybody was bullish on the metaverse. The metaverse, or Reality Labs, is also VR headsets. That's the thing that Mark Zuckerberg bet the whole company on. They also closed 4 game studios. Let me tell you which ones. Armature Studio. That studio made Resident Evil VR. Many of you guys know about Resident Evil. You played Resident Evil growing up. I played Resident Evil growing up. It was a fantastic game. It's one of those scary games. You know, you play it, especially at night. A little dog jump out, a little zombie jump out. You get to start shooting it. Crazy game. But just imagine that in a VR headset. Scared the living crap out of you. Okay? But they made the game. Armature Studio. That game got a 90 plus on Metacritic. One of the best VR games ever made. Gone. One of the best VR games ever made is now gone. Twisted Pixel. That's the studio that made Deadpool VR. Gone. Sanzaru Games. They made Asgard's Wrath 2. One of the highest rated games on the Quest. Gone. Within, they made the Supernatural. That VR fitness app that people love. Gone. 4 studios. Some of the best VR content ever made shut down. Now, here's the number that matters. Meta has lost over $50 billion on the metaverse. $50 billion. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. And what do they have to show for it? VR headsets that people bought, used for a few months, put it in a closet, didn't touch it again, collecting dust. I want you guys to type metaverse in the chat if you bought a VR headset that you don't even use anymore. Type it in the chat. I saw a whole bunch of people during COVID with the VR headsets. They were wearing it on the Facebook and the TikTok apps and showing videos of people walking and acting like they're following and wearing the VR headsets and throwing stuff. I saw a whole bunch of videos on that. Thought it was going to be the next big thing. It wasn't. Now, here's what's interesting. What Meta is not cutting, they are not cutting the AR division. Now, what is AR? AR is augmented reality, smart glasses, Ray-Ban Meta glasses. They sold 2 million pairs at $300 each. That's $600 million in revenue from glasses that actually work, that people actually wear. The Ray-Ban Meta glasses, they're a hit. They're the ones that people are wearing with the VR or with the cameras on them. I got a buddy who actually is responsible for designing those. He lives in San Jose, California, making all kinds of money. VR puts you in a fake world. AR keeps you in the real world with information on top. VR is dying. AR is surviving. AI is eating everything. Check that out, guys. Check that out. They are investing into the tools and the products that make them money, not this big hope and this big dream. If you work in VR, start pivoting now. Okay? Let's go to story number 3. I want to show you guys something else, because this is technology that was supposed to be the next big thing. You might know Ericsson and you might not know of Ericsson, but they are a Swedish company. They build cell phone towers, network equipment, 5G infrastructure. Okay. Yesterday, they announced 1,600 job cuts in Sweden. That's 12% of their entire Swedish workforce. But here's the thing. This isn't new. 2023, they cut 1,400 in Sweden. 2024, they cut 1,200 in Sweden. 2026, another 1,600. That's 4,200 jobs in one country in 3 years. And globally, Ericsson has gone from 100,000 employees to 90,000. Why is this happening? 5G was supposed to change everything. Remember the hype? 5G will transform healthcare. 5G will enable self-driving. 5G will enable you to be the smartest person in the world and be able to transact from anywhere. 5G will allow for you to be the richest person in the world because it will just give you a boost. 5G will change how we work. That was the hype. You remember that? Companies spent over $100 billion building 5G networks. And what happened? Your phone got a little faster. That's it. Nobody is paying extra for 5G. The carriers can't make money on it, so they stop buying equipment, and Ericsson is collapsing. So if you work in traditional telecom hardware, cell towers, radio equipment, network infrastructure, the market is telling you something. That industry is shrinking. Get out now. Get out now. I want you guys to type signal if you see the pattern here. Type signal in the chat. Let me summarize this segment. 4,800 jobs, 3 companies, 1 week. Tesla denied it while doing it. Meta is abandoning $50 billion, a $50 billion bet on the metaverse. And Ericsson is slowly dying. This is the silent purge, guys, and it is happening everywhere. All right. On this next segment, guys, I'm going to tell you a story that puts a human face on all of this. A designer who did everything right and got left holding the bag. I want you guys to stay with me on this next segment, okay? It's going to be a good one right here, man. going to be a real good one. I'm going to tell you guys a story that basically puts a human face on all of this. Her name is Fisayo Che. She's a fashion designer. Her family is from Nigeria. She started a brand called Elissa Mama. Elissa Mama, women's clothing inspired by African artistry, made by women artisans in Nigeria. Okay, that's her. She started selling at flea markets. She started selling at Etsy. She started selling on Instagram. And in 2020, someone found her on Instagram and dropped her name with a buyer at Saks Fifth Avenue. Okay. Okay. Somebody dropped her name at Saks Fifth Avenue by finding her on Instagram. What did I tell you about putting yourself out there on social media? What did I tell you about creating content? Somebody's going to eventually find you. Somebody found her on Instagram. Saks reached out, and Fisayo thought it was a scam. She didn't even respond at first. Then the vice president from Saks DM'd her on Instagram. That's when she knew it was real. Okay? That's when she knew it was real. She told Business Insider this. She said, I freaked out and was very scared when I got the DM. She thought, how are we going to do this? But guess what she did? She figured it out. Saks walked alongside her, gave her guidance, helped her understand vendor requirements, shipping, routing, all of it. She hired more artisans in Nigeria, built up production, improved supply chains. This is what she said. She said everybody was winning. It helped us help other people grow their own business. Boss, making it happen. In 2023, Saks selected her for their New Wave program for emerging designers. She came to New York, met with industry experts, got press coverage. I'm going to show you guys. She made it to Fifth Avenue, guys, New York. Look at that. Beautiful. Got a grant. And at the end, they put her products in the window at the flagship Saks store on Fifth Avenue in New York City. Just imagine that. You go from making products in Nigeria, putting your stuff on Instagram all the way across the world, get a DM one day from somebody who saw your products saying, you know what, Saks wants to be a part of this, wants to carry you in the store. She gets a grant. She learns how to supply chain. She helps other people in her network. Next thing you know, she's on Saks Fifth, where I'm showing you right now in the front window. Flagship Saks store on Fifth Avenue, New York City. Think about that, guys. From flea markets to the window of Saks Fifth Avenue. Here's her words. It was nothing I could have imagined for Elissa Mama. Saks became 50 to 60% of her business. She employs 20 people full-time in Nigeria, plus contractors, plus consultants. I want you guys to type dream. If you've ever had a big break like this, type dream in the chat. You ever had a big break like this? I was talking to a buddy this morning. He was like, man, Antoine, man, my wife saw you on your channel. She loved what you do. What is it going to take for you to go mainstream? Said, well, when that bridge cross, we'll have that conversation. But right now, I'm with my ladder climbers on YouTube. Okay? I see you guys in the chat. I see you. Life of Cam says, it looks like Rodeo Drive. Nope. This is Fifth Avenue, my man. Fifth Avenue. Beautiful. I was just there. Having a good old time at the AI Summit in Fifth Avenue. Having a good old time. Okay. Now here's where it falls apart. February 2025. Saks sends a memo to vendors. We're going to start paying in installments. Vassallo thought, okay, we can wait a few months. They are important partners. We can wait a few months. We got a little bit of cash on hand. July 2025, she got a check for a couple $100. August 2025, a more substantial payment. She thought they were back on track. Okay. She kept sending inventory, operating on faith. Saks will take care of me. You know, I got this long partnership going on with them. Saks will certainly take care of me. I'm doing the right thing by them. They'll take care of me. Operating on faith. Then nothing. No more payments. Saks kept saying, we'll get back to you with updates. She fulfilled 2 more orders on faith. January 2026, Saks files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And Vassallo is owed 6 figures. Let me say that again, 6 figures for inventory that she already shipped. She told Business Insider, I'm considering cutting half of our team to stay viable. God dang. You see how this can have a quick turn? Half her team. That is 10 people in Nigeria who might lose their jobs because Saks didn't pay. I want you guys to type Vassallo in the chat if this story hits you. Type it in the chat. Okay. Now here's what she's doing. She's sitting on Saks' most recent order, not shipping it. Like my man Big Suggs say, pay or no play. And she's sitting on any future shipments. This is what she said. Would have to be paid for before we shipped. She's also considering asking them to send back the inventory that they have so she can at least sell it somewhere else. Here's her quote that got me in the article. She says, I want to see Saks win, but I don't believe the company anymore. I don't believe them anymore, she says. And then she said this. What's happened is a disappointment, but it is also grief and sadness. Y'all, this is what the silent purge looks like on a human level. It's not just workers getting laid off. It's small business owners who did everything right, who built something beautiful, who employed people, who trusted their partners and got left holding the bag. That is what the silent purge looks like, guys. Now, here are the lessons, okay? I want you guys to write this down because many of you guys are going to be business owners. Many of you guys are business owners. I've done it. I've had multiple businesses before. And this one resonates with me right here. And I want to give you guys, when I read this article, what the takeaways that I gleaned from listening and reading this article. Lesson number 1. It's a tough one right here, man. Never let one customer become 50% or more of your business. It's a hard thing to do, especially when you're new to business. And give you guys an example, Level Careers, right? Still functioning. But we had a content creator that was 80% of our revenue. When that content creator decided not to make any more courses and decided to do their own thing, that's 80% of the revenue gone. Okay? Never let one customer become 50% of your business. Diversify always. Lesson number 2. When payments start coming late, That is not a temporary problem. That is a warning sign. You should act immediately. Lesson number 3, trust the data, not the promises. Sachs kept saying they would pay. The checks told a completely different story. Fasayo has since expanded to Shopbop, Tuckernuck, specialty boutiques. She is fighting to survive, and she's going to make it, but she has to adapt, and she's adapting. But she shouldn't have to go through this. If you have a small business, if you have a major client, look at your revenue split right now. Is one customer more than 30%? If yes, start diversifying today. All right. That's the lesson for this segment. In this next segment, guys, I'm going to show you how companies are hiding these cuts. And it's not what you think. But first, here's the thing, guys. I need your help. If you're finding value in this show, do me a favor, hit that like button. Do it right now. If you are enjoying these segments, type it in the chat. Enjoy. Chat it up with your buddies in the chat. It helps the algorithm. Hitting the like button, chatting, it all helps the algorithm. It helps people find this show. And it just takes 1 second. All right. Let's transition to the next segment, guys. Came across this one this morning. You've seen the purge. We've talked about Tesla. We've talked about Meta. We've talked about Ericsson. We talked about Fasayo getting left behind by Sachs. Now I want to show you the mechanism, how companies are restructuring without calling it restructuring. So yesterday, Deloitte, one of the biggest consulting firms in the world, they announced something wild. They are changing the job titles of every single U.S. employee. 181,500 people, new titles effective June 1st. Whoa. Came across this one and I was like, man, God dang, what they doing? That's a lot of work, ain't it? But maybe not. We got AI. If it's just changing titles, we'll see. First thing that came to mind, I'm like, man, that something's big on this one. Effective June 1st, employees will be told their new title. On January 29th, that is 1 week from today. All right. The title will be effective on June 1st, but employees will be told their new titles on January 29th. Now, on the surface, this sounds a bit harmless. This is what I thought when I was reading it. Just going to do an update, a database update titles. Yeah. Just some HR reorganization. But as I begin to read a little bit more, let me read to you what they said internally. They said this, in quote, "Our current talent architecture is outdated and unable to support our business of tomorrow." They said the old system was designed for, quote, "a more homogeneous workforce of traditional consulting profiles." That's what they said. But so much has changed. So here's what's actually happening. Before, you had generic titles: analyst, senior analyst, consultant, senior consultant, manager, senior manager. That's what they had. These are the titles they had, okay? Now, titles will include what they call a job family. A job family and a job subfamily. So instead of senior consultant, you might become senior consultant, functional transformation, or software engineer 3, or product management senior consultant, or project management senior consultant. And internally, everyone gets an alphanumeric code, L45, L55. It's kind of like a product SKU. I want you guys to type Deloitte. If your company has done something like this, type Deloitte in the chat if you've seen this at all in your company. This is happening everywhere. And it's happening now. Now, why does this matter to you? It matters. Why does this matter for you? Because this is how companies prep for cuts without calling them cuts. Step 1, reorganize. Reorganize everyone into new categories. Step 2, identify which categories are, quote, not aligned with the business of tomorrow. Step 3, eliminate those categories. It's not a layoff. It's a role elimination. Your job doesn't exist anymore. And because it's a new title, there's no historical protection, no tenure, no seniority. Everyone starts fresh. This is the mechanism. Life of Cam says Deloitte. Topaz says Deloitte. They've seen it. That's the new mechanism, guys. Ain't that something? When I came across, I'm going to share with you what I also came across. I'm going to show you another piece of evidence. I was reading Business Insider this morning after my nice gym workout. Came across an article by the chief people officer at Cisco, Kelly Jones. That's the head of HR at Cisco, one of the biggest tech companies in the world. She did an interview with Business Insider on yesterday. And she basically said something that, when I read it this morning, it woke me up. She says this: we are really at the precipice where we're going to be moving from managing jobs to redesigning work. From managing jobs to redesigning work. Now, what does that mean? It means HR is no longer about filling positions, managing performance, handling benefits. HR is now about figuring out what work goes to humans, what work goes to AI, and how to reorganize everything in between. She also said this, quote, the worst thing that companies can do is pile more work on employees after AI saves time. Now, that sounds nice. It sounds all kinds of nice, right? You know, you got the corporate spin on it. She's like, you know, guys, the worst thing that companies can do is pile more work on top of the work that these employees already do just because they're saving time with AI. Like, don't continue to stack them with work. It sounds good. But here's the reality. A Microsoft manager told Business Insider AI cut his coding time by 70%, but his overall workload didn't shrink. Why? Because they gave him more to do. The company captured the efficiency, the worker didn't. But here's where it gets interesting. Kelly also said this: if employees are doing better work in less time, there's no negative to that. And one worker told Business Insider he uses AI to complete about half of his tasks and spends the rest of his day on Reddit and YouTube. That's what one worker said, man. I'm AI to get my tasks done. I'm going to spend the rest of my time on YouTube and Reddit, learning, catching up with people. That's what he said. Now, I'm not telling you guys to do that at all, but I am saying this: the rules are changing. Some people are using AI to get more done. Some people are using AI to work less. Some people are getting reorganized out of a job. Which one are you? I want you to type redesign if you feel your job is being restructured. Type it in the chat. Now, here's the lesson. When your company announces a reorganization, a title change, a modernization of talent architecture, that is not HR busy work. That is preparation for something bigger. Pay attention to the categories that they create. Pay attention to which categories are growing. Pay attention to which ones are shrinking, and position yourself on the growth side before they make the decision for you. All right? That's the lesson from all this. I know I was a bit long-winded in that one, but man, that's a lesson from all of this, okay? Let's talk about the hope, because I know I've been hitting you guys with some heavy data on this morning, and this beautiful Thursday morning, talking about companies hiding layoffs and designers getting burned and job titles getting erased. Kind of heavy. I like these heavy shows every once in a while. See how I switched up? But this is what you guys love, though. You guys love this stuff, man. The data shows it, too. You guys love the negative news. Not my ladder climbers. You guys want the good stuff. Blending it, okay? But let me show you the other side, though. Because crisis creates opportunity. And there's an opportunity right now. All right? A big one. Yesterday, Intel, the company that was all over the news and failing a couple months ago and looking like they're the worst company in history, well, their stock jumped 11%, highest level in 2 years. Now, if you've been following Intel, you know they've been struggling. Lost their lead in chips, cost thousands of jobs, people wrote them off, but yesterday the market said Intel is back. Why? 3 reasons. Number one, Nvidia invested $5 billion in Intel. Think about that. Nvidia, Intel's biggest competitor, bet $5 billion that Intel will succeed. Number two, SoftBank invested $2 billion. Number three, the U.S. government is backing Intel with $8.9 billion. That's almost $16 billion flowing into one company. Analysts upgraded Intel, saying there's going to be an agentic AI-driven server CPU demand. That's what they said. Agentic AI. That means AI that can do tasks on its own, like an assistant that actually works. These systems need massive amounts of chips, and Intel makes those chips. What does this mean for jobs? Well, Intel is hiring. Intel is hiring in Phoenix. Intel is hiring in Columbus, Ohio. Intel is hiring in Austin. Intel is hiring in Oregon. What are they hiring? Semiconductor technicians, entry level, $51,000 to start, training provided. Process engineers, $80,000 to $120,000. Design engineers, $107,000 to $175,000. And guess what? You don't need a PhD. Which brings me to my next story. All right. Jensen Huang. You guys know about Jensen. Been talking about him just about every single day. CEO of Nvidia, the most valuable chip company in the world. Some may say the most valuable company in the world. One that's propping up the Magnificent Seven in the stock market today. Well, some analysts will want you to believe. Okay. But he was at Davos on yesterday. That's the big conference in Switzerland that we've been talking about all week, where all the billionaires and world leaders go and meet and rub shoulders and talk to each other and offend each other and get business done. And he said something that should change how you think about careers. He said this: it is a great time to be a plumber. That's what he said. He said the AI boom is creating the largest infrastructure build out in human history. And that build out needs plumbers, electricians, construction workers, steel workers. He said salaries for these jobs are nearly doubling. 6-figure salaries for people building chip factories. His exact words was this: everybody should be able to make a great living. You don't need to have a PhD in computer science to do so. I want you guys to type trades if you're considering this path. It makes you want to at least look into it. makes you want to at least tell your nieces and your nephews that this may be the path for you. I came across this video by Graham Stephan on plumbers. Check this out.
I broke down the average salary of a plumber
first. Get the audio going.
versus a doctor who goes into...
Maybe my audio ain't working. That's what it is. You guys can hear it. I'm not able to hear it. Check this out.
medical school debt. If the plumber comes out ahead, and could
1,000%.
make even more money if they open up their business,
if they invest
expanding.
I watched that video in the Whole Foods parking lot. Chicken. I drive a F-150 in Louisiana. And I propped it up and I'm sitting there eating chicken in the truck. I watched that video and I agree with you then. I believe in 10 years, there's going to be YouTubers out there saying, you want to know what the new hack is? Become a plumber.
I've been saying that. I said it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You heard it. Plumbers making all kinds of money, guys. All kinds of money. Type trades in the chat if you think this is the path for a lot of people. You got the leaders of companies saying this is the path. All right. Let me touch on another story. I got another one from my a data collection from this morning. Let me give you a big picture. LinkedIn, they released data. 1.3 million new AI-related jobs created globally in just 24 months. Can you believe that? 1.3 million in 2 years. At the same time, 52% of professionals are actively job hunting in 2026. And 80% feel unprepared to find a new job. You understand what this means? The jobs exist, 1.3 million of them, but 80% of people don't feel ready. That's the gap. That's your opportunity. If you are willing to learn, if you are willing to adapt, if you are willing to move, you are not competing against everyone. You are competing against the 20% who are ready. Now, here's where the jobs are. The jobs are in machine learning. Machine learning engineers are making 150 to 250. The jobs are in AI product managers who are making 130 to 220. The jobs are in data center technicians who are making $50,000 to $80,000 and training provided. The jobs are in semiconductor technicians, $51,000 to start, training provided. The jobs are in construction trades, building AI infrastructure, 6 figures. The money is telling you where to go. The question is are you listening? That's the question. In this next segment, I'm going to give you the exact tool to position yourself for these opportunities. But before we do that, let me tell you about the Patreon. If you want the complete breakdown, the salary data, the company names, the job links, the community that actually supports you, the people who's chatting in this community today, check out the Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. Join the Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. You get access to me on a Saturday morning. Every week, and we do a live Q&A, live demos. We do workshops to discuss exactly what's going on in AI, to discuss what's going on in our lives, in our careers. Okay? Patreon.com/Black Heights. Link in the description of the show. Let's get to the action section of the show. So far in this show, we've seen the purge, we've seen the mechanism, we've seen the opportunity where it is. Now, let me give you the tool to capture it. Elon Musk posted a job opening this week for Tesla's Doja 3 AI chip team. Look at the Business Insider article. Elon Musk is hiring, and his simple application process reviews what he values in employees. And the application process will change how you guys will think about job hunting. It's an interesting one. No resume required. Here's what he asked for. He asked for an email with 3 bullet points. The toughest technical problems you've solved. That's it. 3 bullet points. Toughest problems that you've solved. A recruiter named Michelle Volberg. She's the founder of a company called Twill. She saw this and said, he basically is just trying to cut through the noise of the job market. And then she said this, Elon is showing the way the job market is going to go. That's what he said. That's what she said. Elon is showing the way the job market is going to go. Cut through the noise. I want you guys to type bullets if you could write yours right now. The hardest problems that you ever solved, if you ever solved, in 3 bullet points. Could you guys do that? Type bullets in the chat if you could do that. And be honest with yourself. Could you do it? She also said this. Companies are sick of fluffy resumes that have been written by ChatGPT. They want proof of what you've actually done, not your job title, not your years of experience, not your degree. What problems have you solved? Now I want to do something. I want you to think about your 3 bullets. What are the 3 toughest problems that you've solved in your career or in your life? Can you explain them in 1 sentence? Can you quantify the result? Can you prove that you did it? If you can't, that's your homework this week. Because this is where hiring is going to eventually go. You guys are getting it right now on the Daily Climb Show. This is where hiring is going to go. This is what they're going to be asking in the near future. You have to be able to answer those questions. Hiring is going to go towards skills-based, results-based, and proof-based. Now, here's your action plan. And write this down, guys. Action number 1. Write your 3 bullets. Do it tonight before you go to bed. Write 3 bullets, the format, the problem, what you did, the result. Example, problem. Team missed deadlines by average of 2 weeks. What I did, built a tracking system and daily stand-up process. Result, reduce late deliveries by 85%. That's 1 bullet. You need 3. Action number 2, audit your risk. Tomorrow morning, before you start work, answer these questions. Is my company reorganizing titles or roles? Is my department growing or shrinking? Is my work something that AI could do? If you've answered yes to any of those, you need to be actively positioning yourself, not waiting. Position yourself now. Look where the data is sending you. Look where the data is going. Look where the data is telling you. Look what the story is being told. And do something about it. Action number 3, start 1 certification. Do this weekend. Pick 1 certification and start it. OSHA only takes 30 hours, $150, 1 week online. Makes you hireable for construction and manufacturing. AWS Cloud Practitioner, 3 to 6 months. Open doors to 6-figure cloud jobs. Semiconductor technician programs, sign up for your community college. Do some research. Look into your community college and determine if they have a program like this. And it only takes 6 to 12 months. Direct path to 51K plus jobs with training. Pick 1. Start this weekend. Don't wait. Action number 4, apply to 10 jobs next week. Apply to 10 jobs in growth sectors, semiconductors, data centers, healthcare, trades. Even if you are not ready, apply, see what happens, get practice. The job market rewards action, not perfection. I want you guys to type action. If you're going to do this, type it in the chat. Okay? Type it in the chat. Ain't that something? Life of Cam says, I'm testing for the PMP in 2 weeks. Wish me luck, guys. Good luck, Life of Cam. Life of Cam says action. Andrew Palace says action. I see you, Andrew. Big Sug says action. I like your avatar, Big Suggs. Crypto Cake says action. Topaz says action. Look at that. This is what I like to see. All right, Ladder Clubs, let me bring it home. Give you the executive summary for today. What's the executive summary? I'm about to tell you right now. Get my screen right. Number one, this is the takeaway I want to leave you guys with. Number one, the silent purge is real, guys. Tesla, they cut 1,700 while the plant manager denies it. Okay. New rules, new ways of going about doing this sort of stuff without having to be fully accurate and fully transparent. Meta, they cut 1,500 and killed a $50 billion bet. Ericsson, they cut 1,600 in one country. Versailles is owed 6 figures by Saks. Companies are not announcing mass layoffs. They are doing it quietly through non-renewed contracts, voluntary buyouts, attrition, and reorganization. Don't listen to what they say. Watch who disappears. All right? Takeaway number 2. The mechanism is title changes and redesign. You see the article by Deloitte. Okay? They are changing 181,500 job titles. Cisco's HR chief says we are moving from managing work to redesigning work. When your company announces a reorg, that is not busy work. That is preparation. So position yourself on the growth side before they make the decision for you. It's that simple. This is game, guys. Takeaway number 3. The opportunity is massive if you are ready. Intel surged 11%. People wrote Intel off. People said Intel was going to die. People said Intel was a company that's been around for 99 plus years and was going to into abyss. Intel surged 11%. 1.3 million AI jobs were created in 24 months, according to LinkedIn. Jensen Huang says 6-figure salaries are for people building chip factories, and you should consider plumbing. So my man Jensen said, Jensen, he's pretty right, man. He's been on a I am right, last couple years, man. I know what I'm talking about. Last couple years. I mean, like, he's been doing well. He's been right for a long time. So when I listen to him and I read about him, he seems like a pretty good dude. Comes off as a pretty good dude. Hard working though. Works all the time. Hard to work for, but it seems like a pretty good dude. 6-figure salaries for people building chips, specifically plumbers. The jobs exist, guys, but 80% of people feel unprepared. Be in the 20%. Write your 3 bullets. Start a certification. Apply to growth sectors. And guys, if you want full research, if you want the full research from the show today, the salary data, the company names, the certification roadmaps, join our Patreon, patreon.com/Black Heights. Link is in the description. And if you can't catch the live show every single morning. Subscribe to our newsletter. It is absolutely free. Every weekday, I send it out at 11:30 a.m. Central. It's fully automated. You get a full recap of everything that we've covered from today, the data, the stories, the strategies, delivered straight to your inbox, Monday through Friday. Link is in the description. Go and sign up now if you haven't done so already. And do me a favor, if you found value in this show, hit the like button. Click. Hit the subscribe button. Click. Turn on notifications. We do this every single weekday, 7 a.m. Central. Business news translated into career strategy. Tomorrow, give you a little indicator of what we may be talking about, but things change. Today, I was going to talk about the credit card recap or credit card rate cap. Sorry. We may be talking about that a bit tomorrow because I saw it on the financial front page of the Business Insider. I'm like, that should be a good conversation to have. But what happens if Congress actually passes a 10% cap? Who wins in fintech? Who loses in banking? And what it means for consumer lending and jobs. All right. That's what I am thinking that I'm going to be talking about on tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Final thoughts, guys. 181,500 people at Deloitte are going to find out their new job title in 1 week. They don't get to choose what it is, but you can choose. Okay? You can define your value. You can write your bullets. You can position yourself for growth sectors. You can control your own story. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what your story is. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you what you're worth. Show them what you're worth. That's the daily climb for Thursday, January 2022. I said 2022, January 22nd, 2026, guys. Keep climbing, man. Keep climbing. What you guys think about the show today? You guys like the show today? Just a little bit slower today, a little bit slower pace. I brought the energy, but I was like, calm, Antoine. Let me bring the calm, Antoine. What you guys think about the show today, man? Life of Cam says, I'm now an AI automation engineer. Big time, brother. That's a fantastic, man. Big Suggs, I appreciate you, man. He said, peace out, Ladder Climbers. Be safe and keep grinding. Absolutely, man. You too. Tech Middle Chat, my boy Jabron. Good to see you, my man. Life of Cam says, fire. Topaz says, thanks, Antoine. Have a great day. Ladder Climbers, go and crush your day. Critical Kate says, great show. Big Suggs says, outstanding. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. I always get to get the feedback. It's always good to get feedback from the people you show up for every day. I have to ask the question. You guys like the show? Jason says, solid show. Solid. Yeah, solid. I'm taking solid all day, man. Let's keep climbing, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow.